All right, everybody. Well, hey, hope everybody was doing well this evening. It's Monday night. Hopefully, you all had a great weekend. It's hard to believe that we are roughly an eighth of the way through the new year, but we are. I had a fun weekend last couple days of last week out in Orlando at the Podfest convention. Really got a lot of great stuff. Flew back home Saturday night and was actually able to catch a late night showing of 50 Shades Freed. Don't know if I would recommend going and seeing it. Lost interest about halfway through. Literally, they basically just tried to slam some. That kind of sounds kind of funny. Put some content together and shovel off as the second half of the movie. But I did get some great marketing ideas, as always, from the movie. And so look forward to sharing that with you tonight. Before we dive into that, though, we are at Note Night in America. I want to thank all of you guys and gals for joining us from all across the country. I know we've got a lot of great stuff to go through this evening. For those that are curious, these are being recorded. We have a variety of investors from all across the United States. And this is your first time to join us on Note Night in America. Welcome. We've got a variety of real estate investors, note investors, people looking to get into notes, a whole different kit and caboodle tonight as far as investors out there join us trying to find out, hey, is this for me or no, or what other information can I find? But like I said, I've hit the record button on tonight's call already, so they are recorded. If you've got to step out after an hour or got to go deliver your own spanking, you can catch the replays at weclosenotes.tv. We also are doing something new as of a couple days ago, or as of last week. We have started to post these episodes onto iTunes and Stitcher as bonus episodes for those that are interested in catching those or downloading them and listening to them as they're out traveling around. So we are glad to do that for you guys. Just make sure to leave comments, questions as you like them, as you enjoy them. Let us know. We're here to help you guys rock and roll in the new year. We've got a big goal for the year is to help, especially not only this year, but for the next 5 years to help over 10,000 note investors. We want to help educate and create over 10,000 note investors. It's a big goal for us. We want to help you out there if you're joining us for the first time out here. So welcome to the call as we get rock and rolling into the information. I would be amiss if I did not share one of the big bonuses that are going on this month. We have to give a big shout out to Quest IRA, who's one of our featured sponsors of We Close Notes, our Note Closers podcast, and then also, of course, Note Night in America. They're running a special through February. This is something you definitely want to take advantage of, is open a new IRA, educational savings account. That should be an HSA, not HAS, account for $100. Open a new account for $100 for yourself. Open up the rest of the accounts that you need for yourself and or your family, and you get those for free. So that's the beautiful thing. Open up one account for $100. Open the rest of the account for yours or your spouses or your kids, and get those for free. So that's a huge, huge way to save some money, put some money into your account versus spending on fees. You must use the code WCN at the account opening. What we mean by that is if you call Quest IRA or go to questira.com, you fill out the online forms, make sure you put WCN into the coupon code. Okay, it's important to do that. All right. Or you can give them a phone call at 188-FUN-IRAs tomorrow morning or whenever you're listening to this, because they are open basically from 8:30 to 5:30, if I remember correctly. So, but anyway, guys, we are so jacked up. Our Note Closer Show podcast is over 62,000 downloads of just a few minutes ago. Lots of growth going on. Learned that we're actually doing quite good in the podcast community with our downloads and numbers. So big thanks to you guys. We'll keep delivering the content as long as you keep listening to it. But we are rock and rolling. Pleasantly surprised where we're at the 5.5 mark of having a show, and we look forward to sharing more and more information with you over the next months, next days. All right. Any questions about that? We are changing up the format for this. We're going to keep the events to the back end of the thing. I'm going to dive in and go into more content besides a few pointers on the front end. But we do have quite a few events upcoming that I'll let you know about. But I thought I'd move that to the back of the webinar tonight, the Note Night in America. Move it to the back end after we get through the content. That way, if those that have to jump out after an hour, if we go longer than an hour, you don't miss the content. Does that sound good, everybody? Yep. All right. Good stuff. Oh, making sure my phone is muted here. All right. Moving on. So let's get to 50 Shades of Freedom. Now, tonight is not about getting spanked or putting a ball gag in your mouth or being tied up or any of that stuff, everybody. Okay? It is literally about there's some things that I crack up about with entrepreneurs because I see it every day. And I see a lot of entrepreneurs and note investors and real estate investors out there who literally are handcuffing themselves in a variety of ways. And I see this over and over again. And trust me, I am not saying I am not prone to some of these things as well that we're discussing tonight. All right? Because I think we all struggle with entrepreneurship from time to time. And these are some of the things that I have taken not only from some of my mentors, but some of the books that I've read, some things I've learned to implement going forward. If I end up saying he or they, ladies, I don't just mean men on this thing. I mean men and women as entrepreneurs and leaders have some things out there. So if you're watching this on the webinar, thank you. Glad you're there. If you're watching or listening to this on the Facebook Live, hey, I have that up. I have that available to watch and answer questions as well, too. So I see some people like Cody Cox, Joe Griffith, Don Alexander are watching us live on Facebook Live, which is awesome. Brady Durr, thank you, guys. Give me some love out there on Facebook Live. But if you're watching this on Zoom on our normal webinar, we're here to answer questions for you. All right? We're here to help you really overcome some trials and tribulations in your business so you can do bigger things in your life. All right? So let's get to it. All right. Okay, come on. All right. So we're going to start with 1 through 50. And yes, I'll make this PowerPoint available for those that are interested. So 50 Shades of Freedom. What I have found from talking and interviewing, awesome. I got a new technology toy that just kicked in, and it's freaking working awesome. There's basically 50 things that I see a lot of entrepreneurs do that mess up. And when I see from successful note investors, successful entrepreneurs, people that I admire, is the first thing they have is they have a very focused mind, okay? A very focused mind. They're focused on basically kind of one thing until they get that one thing in rock and roll before they move on to other things. Now, that leads us to number 2. Successful entrepreneurs and leaders, they're avoiding distraction. They're somebody that avoids distractions on a regular basis. They're not chasing multiple squirrels or chasing multiple rabbits, okay? Now, if you're out the movies watching Peter Rabbit, you're probably chasing multiple rabbits in your dream. But if you find yourself torn between a couple of things, you can use the Russian proverb, the man who chases 2 rabbits catches none, okay? You want to avoid distractions as best as you can. Hey, Crystal Reed. I hope everything's going well there and down in South Texas. All right. Also, you want a leader is somebody who avoids drama. Now, avoiding it is not always the easiest thing. There's things that happen to us every day. I'll be the first one to agree. Hey, things happen to us all. All right. And one of the big things that I've instilled here in the office is you only focus on drama for 30 seconds. If it takes more than 30 seconds from you, you're allowing that to happen. You have the capabilities to react or to not react to things. We all control our own emotions. So get upset about it, but put a timer on it, nip it in the butt, and move on, because it's not going to do you any good. And last but not least on the top 5 here, but on this slide anyway, is a lot of leaders have to have a lot of common sense. If you don't have some common sense on things, you're going to constantly be befuddled. You're going to constantly get taken advantage. You're going to constantly do some stupid shit that you shouldn't do. So that's one of the biggest things I can tell you. Try to figure out what the common sense is. Yes, we're all starting someplace. We all begin in places. Everybody's a rookie at some point. Even the most successful people, even Steve Jobs was a brand new employee. All right. All those people out there, but they're developing and building their common sense from doing a variety of things. Okay. They all believe in the KISS method of keeping it simple, Scott, or keeping it simple, stupid. They don't do overthink things. All right. They're not going to make things more complicated than it needs to be. And I think if you find yourself going the complicated route, you need to learn, hey, what's the easiest path to success here? Okay. What's the simplest thing? Okay. All right. I also know that leaders they're people that devour knowledge. Somebody who's devouring knowledge. Okay. They're constantly reading. They're constantly looking online for things. They're constantly looking to better themselves in different situations. Okay. They're also realize that when they take on a task, number 8, they do it one bite at a time. I've heard the saying about, eating an elephant when you've got a big project. Don't get overwhelmed with everything that's going on. Focus on it and break it down bit by bit. Okay. Focus on and taking it down one bite at a time, one job at a time, and you'll be a lot better and a lot happier off. Okay. Now that also leads that successful entrepreneurs to find financial freedom. There's somebody that builds networks. And it could be a nationwide network. It could be a local network. It could be your local meetup groups. It could be basically what we have seen and what I see on a regular basis is successful entrepreneurs build networks. They build teams to help them. Okay. And that kind of leads to the next one. They're not afraid to speak up. They're not afraid to state their mind or ask for help if they need to. I kind of put through those two into one thing. Look, we all start somewhere, and honestly, we all have to learn, okay? But if you don't know something, speak up, say something, okay? It's important to do that to find success. It's important to find financial freedom because otherwise, if you don't know, the worst question is the question that should have been asked. All right? I always tell people there are no stupid questions in our workshops, that you have to learn to ask the question. Not be afraid to speak. Don't be introverted. Some of the most successful people I know are introverts, but they're not afraid to get out and say something. Okay. Moving on here. Successful entrepreneurs, successful financial millionaires, and things like that. They're building teams. We talked about that. They're putting systems in place so that they can help themselves or their staff help themselves. Okay. This is important. Trying to do everything yourself without an assistant or and that's the first real key in success is to build a team, and that's really hiring assistants. It's hiring people to help you out with, and then putting systems in place to help them do things. And you often have to, a lot of times, you've got to put away childish toys. I have a lot of buddies that I know that are still busy playing video games. They wonder why they're not making any money. They rather go out and spend the weekend fishing or doing other things, golfing, versus focused on their business or focused on getting things done. All right. A financial secure person or a leader is somebody who also leads from the front. They don't talk the talk, they walk it. All right. They're not a person that's going out and putting on airs. Oh, hey, we're going to put on an event, but then they haven't even bought a note in the last 2 years. Or they're, they talk a game, but then actually they're not doing anything. Okay. A true entrepreneur, financial freedom is somebody who's going to lead from the front. Okay. You're going to lead from the front. You're going to be the first one in, the last one out, first one that shows up to events. You're going to be the one that's on time for things. You're going to show up and stay late and network with people. That's the important thing. Now, that also leads to number 15. Financial freedom. Somebody that values financial freedom is going to value the hour. They're going to give great values to their hour. What's that mean? Well, they're not going to be doing stupid things in the middle of the day when they should be on the phone. They're not going to be surfing Facebook constantly when they should be adding to their database or reaching out and raising capital or reaching out and finding sources. Okay. A true entrepreneur is going to have limited time because they are busy. I know we are all busy. I don't care if you're working a full-time job. You have to maximize the time, maximize the hour that you have to accomplish something, especially if you're working full-time somewhere else. If you're not doing the things you want to be doing, you have to squeeze value out of the hours that you have. So it's making sense, everybody? Hopefully it's making sense. I think it's a great thing to do it. I didn't want to pull out whips and chains or handcuffs or anything like that, but I just thought this would be kind of a good little thing to keep in mind because I know that in life we all get distracted. We all have things going on that are sometimes bigger than us, and sometimes you just got to figure out, hey, you're going to have some things happen, okay? A leader is somebody who trains their staff, who takes the time to train their staff. You can't hire somebody and expect them to be able to immediately pick up that job and run with it. You've got to take the time, whether it's 30, 60, 90 days to train their staff, whether they're in person or they're virtual, online, or they're overseas. You have to do that. Now, and also a true leader and somebody who understands, if somebody's not making the grade, they're going to get fired fast. Somebody who's going to cut the people loose. You can have the greatest employee, but they're toxic to your office or toxic to your organization. You got to get rid of them. If they're just not going to get it after a period of time, and everybody's different in that period of time. Okay, I like to give my staff 90 days when I hired them all. Okay. That doesn't mean I haven't had to let people go. It came to the point where it wasn't going to work out. We gave them the opportunities. It was time to cut the cord and move on. Okay. Now, the most successful people going and that are finding financial freedom are those that they're focusing their time on profit generating activities. They're doing we talked about earlier about doing the most productive time with their assets. But one of the guys that I learned earlier on when I was a young guy out of California, my name was Hector Lamarck, talked about this. Hey, focus on profit generating activities first and foremost. That should be your biggest rock as an entrepreneur. What are the things that are going to make you money? Okay. Focus on that, fill in the paperwork, fill in the other things around those times. Okay. And this is also, too, I learned from my buddy Roland Frazier, who's just absolutely excited to see him in a couple of weeks at Traffic and Conversion in San Diego, is you focus on the deliverables. Get it delivered. It doesn't have to be perfect, but get it delivered. There's always a 2.0. Okay. Get something done. Don't worry about it being absolutely perfect the first time, but get it out, get it done, and be a lot happier off. Okay. And this is also, it's important that you can't do everything yourself. If you're running into banging your head against the wall because you're not getting things done, it's because you're not learning to delegate. You're not giving the loan file to your servicer to run with, or you're trying to do this loss mitigation yourself. That doesn't work. Give it to Madison Management. If you've got a group of loans, give them to the law office of Daniel Singer. All right. We delegated some things off today in our office. Like, nope, they're not working fast. Let's move them. Let's move them to let's move them to Franco Borelli. Let's get him working on it. Learn to delegate, and you'll be a lot happier off. Because otherwise, if you're not learning to delegate, you're going to feel overwhelmed. And honestly, coming back from being gone last week, I was feeling overwhelmed today. I didn't check my email for a couple of days. I did it perfectly like that, so I would really be able to absorb what I was learning this weekend. I felt a little overwhelmed today, to the point I was like, oh, crap. So the first thing I did, I came back and said, what can I delegate? What can I give off to Greg, to Jen, to others to get done? Okay? It's important to do that. An entrepreneur realizes that you have to market to the masses. As somebody who markets to the masses, and having one-on-one conversations is not the best way. What's the best way for you to get the word out to the masses about what you're doing? Whether that's through email or through social media or through a webinar or through Facebook or LinkedIn. Somebody who understands the power in marketing to the masses. And if you're somebody out there who's like, well, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in marketing. I don't believe in that. Great, then get the hell out of my way. All right? Because you're going to struggle. Do not waste my time if you don't understand the power of marketing. It's very, very important. I don't care what success you've had in the past. That's one thing. It's in the past. It's not today. Okay? Everybody is in basically a media company. You're a media company for yourself, whether you're Chris Venny or Ramirez or Kevin Stroop or Clifton or Cody or Phyllis. I don't care who you are, what your name is. You run a media company for your business, a media company for your deals to get things done, everybody. Okay. A true entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur, knows their value. Now, this is different than knowing the value of your time, knowing what you are worth, knowing that my hour's worth $1,000. I got to make sure that I'm doing $1,000 activities during that hour, not $7.50 an hour things. Okay. Entrepreneurs that are successful, that want to find financial freedom, don't drop their wage or drop down what their hourly worth is. And this is a huge thing that I see most people that are struggling, they're failing. They've learned this knowledge, it's worth so much more, but they're still working at a $20 an hour, $25 an hour. If they really focus on some things, a few things on the side, they'll be blowing things up. And I know that working for somebody else is not the easiest thing. We talked earlier about knowing the value of hour. Hey, you've got to time block. Every entrepreneur that I've known that's been successful, whether it was in corporate America that I talked to and met them or worked with them, or entrepreneurs, they were always time blocked. And sometimes they had other people, their staff, helping them with their schedule, but they were time blocked. They knew they had to be from here 10 to 2. If you think about what senators or the president goes through, and I'm not talking about Trump, we're not going to get political. Usually they wake up and they've got, hey, you've got this meeting, you've got this meeting, you've got this meeting. This is what's on the agenda for the day. They've got things blocked out. And the time that I see most entrepreneurs struggling is when they don't know what the hell they should be doing next. And so they're screwing up that way. Okay. Of course, you've always got to be forward thinking. If you're constantly looking at in the back, this kind of goes back to the E-Myth Revisited. Michael Gerber wrote, about this. You always got to be forward thinking. You've got to be focused on not what's going on in a week, but literally 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. I've actually turned my desk in my office to face my wall so I can see my calendar. So it's in front of me on a regular basis. Yeah, I got a nice view outside in this little water kind of pond by my office. I really got a nice view. But my desk actually faces my calendar because I want that to be a constant reminder of what we have to get done and where we got to go and where we're going. I have literally things already planned for next January at this time. Okay? Constantly forward thinking. You also can be successful. Success is never, and financial freedom is not found inside of a comfort zone. If you're financially free and independent now and you're happy, great, you can stay in your comfort zone. But if you're not, you've got to get outside your comfort zone. You've got to expand that. And I know this is one thing that everybody struggles with is sticking to your comfort zone. Does that make sense, everybody? I think that's one thing that we all really need to work on more than anything else. Sometimes we get, we take for granted some of the successful things that we're doing. And when we should probably, I need to go do this. I know I got to go get this done. And I know I need to kind of slack it off on this. I got to expand my comfort zone. And I know that I struggled with that sometimes too. Okay. Questions on the first 25. All right. As I said before, I'll upload this, upload the slides to SlideShare. As always, the video will be on WeCloseNotes.tv here later this evening, or also on YouTube and Vimeo as well, sometime, if not tonight, tomorrow. Okay? 26 through 50 here. A true successful person avoids politics and religion. Don't get into those stupid questions or stupid comments online about politics or religion. It's a dead end black hole. Nobody wins. Okay? Nobody wins arguing about politics. I was watching a Netflix special a little bit yesterday with David Letterman. He was interviewing George Clooney. He was talking about all the things that he's doing humanitarian-wise to help people overseas, and they were asking about, people want you to run for politics, run for office. Like, hell no, it's a dead end job. It's not a success. You're not going to find any success in there. A private person can do more to shape the world than the president can, than the politicians can. That's something to keep in mind. Okay. Now, the reason we avoid politics and religion is because it never turns into a good thing. So you've got to keep a positive mental attitude. I know when things get down and things are tough, it's easy to have that Debbie Downer, You got to keep a positive mental attitude. I know it's easy to literally just be, I don't want to do anything. And sometimes you want to just run and screaming. All right? I get it. It's frustrating. We don't see success as fast as we want. But keep a positive mental attitude. It sticks with you. It's so much easier to go through life with a positive mental attitude than be a Debbie Downer or negative Nancy. Now, it doesn't mean avoid the realistic things of life. Doesn't mean you can't focus on the things and understanding, yep, I'm going through a rough time right now. But if you keep a positive mental attitude, it'll help you get through things, okay? Successful entrepreneurs finding financial freedom are frugal but not cheap. Now, what do I mean by this? Frugal but not cheap. I'll give you an example. If I have a loan file or something that I've got to get recorded, I'm not going to send it via regular postage. I'm going to send it via FedEx. All right? Yes, it's going to cost a little bit more to overnight it to make sure it's done properly, but it allows for me to get going versus waiting for snail mail for another 2 to 3 weeks that you can delay things. And I see this happen a lot. I see a lot of investors that want to go cheap, and they end up costing them more in the long run with their social media. Well, yeah, social media or their due diligence or their O&E reports or their foreclosure costs or their servicing. They decide to go cheap. If they cut back on a couple other things or got smart about it, they could pay for a better quality thing and come out smelling a lot better in the long run. Okay. I think entrepreneurs also, they like to feed off of criticism. They like having somebody tell them that they can't do something. If you look at what Elon Musk is going through right now, people tell him they could not launch what he's done. He's fed off that criticism quite well and is accomplishing some amazing things. May not always agree with some of the things he's working on, but it's hard to doubt the guy that just put a freaking car into space. Okay. I know that I've always done well when somebody's told me I couldn't do something. Well, watch me. I'll prove you wrong. Now, that's not saying that it's negative criticism or the negative. They just take, like people tell them they can't do something and prove other people wrong if they can. Okay. I'm also a big believer that true entrepreneurs and successful people have a servant leadership mindset. What's that mean? Servant leadership. That means they make the people around them better. How can I help you? It's not all about me, but how can I help you? How can I raise the water around me so that I float to the top? How can I help my staff or my students or my clients? How can I help them accomplish their big goals? Because if they're accomplishing their goals, it's just easy for me to be able to accomplish mine. And I think it's an important thing to keep in mind is, I really enjoy, that was one thing I really noticed this weekend when I was in Orlando, is everybody was a great, don't get me wrong. I love our Note family. We've got a really great community as Note investors, but it was, I think, a environment that rivaled what we have accomplished, what we've put together here. There's a really great group of people that have really, hey, how can I help you? Let me help you with that. And there's plenty of stuff to go around when it comes to those things. So keep that in mind. Another thing is, I like to say that shit only flows uphill. If you're a leader, you don't go and complain to your staff. You don't go complain to your friends that aren't doing the things. That just gives them all the fodder in the world. You don't complain to your spouse if they're not supportive. Okay? What you have to do is you have to keep the shit flowing uphill. What's that mean? That means you talk to your mentors. You complain to your mentors. You complain to the people that you learn from. They're the ones that can help you overcome things. Because if you just start complaining downhill and crapping on yourself, it's only going to get worse and turn into this mountain of shit, this rolling ball of feces that's not going to help you in any form or fashion. When if you push it uphill, oftentimes they can overcome things. Oftentimes they can take that and redistribute that into fertilizer that actually allows you to understand what you're going through. And then having somebody ahead of you, somebody above you, we all have mentors. We all have friends. I know a lot of people say, Scott, somebody have told me, Scott, I never see you in a bad mood. Oh, I'll be in a bad mood. It was a bit of a grouchy mood today. Okay. Tired, a little worn out. I try to keep the ship floating uphill. Try not to roll it downhill. I didn't spend much time in the office. I was just a little tired of a couple things. It's important to keep it floating uphill. Okay. Now that leads to number 32. I think it's important that you promote your partners. Okay. It's important to promote the people that you work with, whether it's your vendors or your servicers or your legal or your funders or your partners. It's important to promote your partnership. All right. You've got to keep that in mind. That'll go down a little bit further with 34, deflects praise. When people, hey, when you do amazing thing, I think a true leader deflects praise. It's all about what we accomplished, not me. But it also falls in line with 33. That something goes wrong, an entrepreneur doesn't point the finger. A successful person does not say, who's the problem? Say, well, sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, it's my fault. Let me get this fixed for you. They take ownership, but they have the bucks. Let me solve this for you. And I think a lot of us struggle. I think in retail and other avenues, we see a lot of people just falling in. Well, it's not my job. It's not my job to do that, so I'm not going to do that. And if I see somebody doing that, I'm like, oh, it's such a crappy way to go through life with things, okay? It's such a crap. Well, I'm not going to do it. It's not my job, okay? It also comes down to number 35 here. Successful entrepreneurs don't sit here and dilly-dally. They don't sit here and hee and haw about making a decision. They make a decision. They make decisions quickly. They make educated decisions quickly, okay? But they realize that if they don't make a decision, that decision will end up being made for them, in either one form or fashion. And you have to realize this. I'll give you an example. If I'm sitting here and I realize if I'm going to buy an asset or not buy an asset, I'm sitting here and hee and haw. Eventually, at some point, what's probably going to happen is somebody's going to buy that asset. I'm going to lose out on it because I sat here and couldn't make a decision. Same thing. Oh, my knee is hurting. I think I've done something, but I'm not going to go to the doctor. Well, eventually what will happen? Your knee's going to get worse, and you're going to have surgery on things. We do things. A lot of us are guilty of this. We hee and haw, and eventually what happens? Oh, I'm going to wait to do my taxes next year. Oh, I'll wait to do my taxes next year. Oh, then what ends up happening? Oh, the IRS is going to make you do the taxes this year. You get what I'm saying, everybody? Those are the things you got to keep in mind, all right? Make a decision. Stick with it. You can always change later on, but making a decision, if it turns start going the other way, then make a decision, go back. Okay. You have to prepare for the worst. You don't always prepare for the best. I think financially independent people, I think true entrepreneurs, they don't prepare for the best. They prepare for the worst. And they hope for the best, but they prepare for the worst. They realize it's probably not going to be so, it's going to be somewhere between the worst and the best most of the time. Now, if you find yourself constantly run to the worst possible situation, you need to pull your head out of your ass and realize, yeah, let's prepare. If it hits that way, we'll cover that when it happens. This is our game plan, A, B, and C. Here's our game plan. That goes the route. If it doesn't go that route, we don't need to worry about it, right, everybody? Okay? That's also important with where we're going at, that entrepreneurs are trying or tithing and saving for rainy days. And, that's going to be a variety of it. They're either taking that money and reinvesting it into deals, they're tithing themselves, or they're funding their self-directed IRAs is a really valuable aspect to keep in mind. You got to keep that in mind. Don't spend your whole, blow your whole wad on one something is what my father would always say. Okay? Now, number 38 is important to keep in mind, too. It kind of goes back to the first couple we talked about. An entrepreneur stays in their lane. They're not drifting back and forth. They're going over to this thing, this other thing. A true entrepreneur, true successful people are those that literally avoid other things. Hey, I'm going to stay in my lane. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm going to focus on. Okay? Anyway, Steph is, thank you, Steph, for sharing. Appreciate it. Actually, not necessarily me, I guess, but thank you for the sharing. All right. I know that a lot of entrepreneurs are constant innovators. Now, they are focused on the forward thinking a lot, we talked about earlier, but they're constantly innovating. Hey, how can we tweak this? Or what can we add to this to make it a little bit different? All right. They're looking to adjust things, to innovate something to make it even better for the client, for their investors, for themselves. They're constantly innovating to make some things better. And of course, you would not be surprised that they're constantly moving. I think some of the most successful entrepreneurs and people that I call my mentors that I've read or met or had the opportunity to speak on stage with are people that I constantly see moving. They are rarely sitting down. I guess many people would say, oh, hey, you're so busy. You're constantly doing things. Yeah, they're constantly doing things because that's how they get ahead in life. When you're sitting at home on the couch, or if I'm sitting at home on the couch and people are doing things, they're doing something to better themselves. What's going to help us? Watching reruns of The Sopranos? Don't get me wrong. I like Tony Soprano and everything, but hey, you might as well shoot yourself in the head if you're not getting things done. And I think we're all guilty of this at some point, right? I think true entrepreneurs, and you're going to find true financial freedom, you have to have a clearly defined why. What's your why? Is retire by the time you're 50, to retire your spouse, to have kids, put your kids through college, to retire your parents, to take care of your parents, retire your spouse, retire yourself because you got health issues? You got to have a clearly defined why. And I loved interviewing Kathy Fetke last Thursday on the Note Closer Show. She talked about it. She outlines that in her book, Retire Rich with Rentals. She talks about the fact that her husband had melanoma, had skin cancer. And that was one of the big whys, that she had to figure out something to help pay for all the medical expenses that was taking place. All right. It's important to have a why. I don't care if your why is you're a cat rescuer, or you work with the veterans, or you love working with youth. Having to clearly define what your why is and finding an organization or finding something that helps that feeds that why, you're going to find a lot more success faster. All right. And be able to surround yourself with like-minded people who can also help you with your whys. Okay. And that, I see so many people spend so much time on their why, and then they can't pay their own bills, or they can't take care of the thing because they're too busy trying to feed the world with what they have, when they need to first focus on themselves. And I see entrepreneurs go out and feed the world with the overflow from their cup. They go out and make things happen with what they've succeeded versus trying to put everything together on the front end and then put themselves last. Pay yourself first, fill up your needs first, get your shit together, and you'll be able to feed the world with your overflow. Okay. It's also important that an entrepreneur takes time to recharge. And this could be sitting at home. It could be doing something enjoyable, walking, hiking, working out, you've got to take time to recharge your batteries. I know that I see a lot of people going out and doing great things over and over again, but if you don't take time to take care of yourself, recharge your batteries, you will eventually get sick. Your health will fail. And I've seen this from many entrepreneurs, including myself. Traveling all the time. It was great traveling all the time, doing a lot of stuff, but I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't taking care of myself to recharge. I'm sure other people out there have done that. Probably Jason Pallister, who I see, I know that you've run into that as well before, man. I see Jason's watching on Facebook Live. Thanks for joining us this evening. You've got to do that, all right? Now, a big thing that comes, it was number 44 for 50 Shades of Freedom here, is successful entrepreneur. They're searching out the unknown. And what's that mean? Well, when they got a question, the first thing to do is they jump online and track it down. They don't sit there and wait for somebody else to tell them an answer. They go out and find it. They go out and jump online. They get on the phone. They search out an answer for the unknown. I don't know. Well, it's acceptable on the front end. It is not acceptable long term. Hey, where are we on that property? I don't know. Let me figure it out. Let me get on the phone. Let me figure it out. This is why it's important to develop your networks. It's important to find and put good people in the places that you need to be. You're going out, searching out the unknown because it can help you. And just sitting there and saying, I don't know, is not a suitable source. Okay? And I think really true entrepreneurs, true successful financial free entrepreneurs have few friends. They all have many acquaintances, but few true friends. All right? I know that a lot of the people I've talked to have a kind of an inner circle of people they talk to, a few people that they reach out to. They might have many acquaintances, but they don't have very few friends. And that's okay. I would rather have a few true friends, all right? That way I can trust on them versus many acquaintances, all right? Because we all know friends will flake on us, especially if you're going through a transition period right now where you're kind of coming out of either a job or out of school or transitioning to a second job. We've got family and our friends who see us in one light. They don't see us naturally in our new light where we want to be. And so it's important to surround yourselves with those great people, the few friends that are going to support you on a regular basis to help you get you through the bad times, okay? And then the final 5 we have here, we talked about this before. You got to take care of your temple. Besides just recharging, take care of your temple, eat well, exercise well. It's important to do that. I know it's kettle calling a pot black sometimes, but you've got to take care of yourself. Your body is your temple, and if the temple falls down, you're not going to be around to do it, okay? 47, I think some of this doesn't surprise people. I think really financial freedom comes from being a creature of habit, doing the things on a regular basis that make you feel good, being time blocked, but doing the little things, even coming down to what you wear on a daily basis. I think we all seen that with Zuckerberg wearing gray T-shirts or Jobs wearing the black turtleneck jeans. They're not doing something fancy. They don't really give a shit what they're wearing because their mind is what the value is. And they're confident enough in themselves to go out and make things happen. Now, it doesn't mean they can't dress up. It doesn't mean you don't buy nice clothes to go out and do some things. That's not what I'm saying. But they're a creature of habit. They're wasting as little time as they possibly can to be more successful in the long run. Okay? 49. Hey, I know that entrepreneurs and those that are financially free, they encourage collaboration, whether it's partnering with somebody on a deal or going, I believe in something called co-opetition. Masterminds is a great place. I know entrepreneurs are usually members of several masterminds, and it allows them to, partner up with people, or they encourage collaboration. They're working on their needs and helping to use their expertise to fulfill somebody else's needs and vice versa. All right. But I think the number one thing, and this is number 50, is that somebody who's financially free is solely responsible for where they're at today. Solely responsible for their status. It's not my mom's fault. It's not my dad's, not my brother. It's not my wife. It's not my ex-wife, ex-husband. It's not my, person. It's not my boss. I am solely responsible for my status in life and where I am today because of the decisions that I have made. And if you find yourself blaming others, blaming friends, families, or giving excuses, all right, that's the first problem. You will never find success because you will never take responsibility or be accountable to yourself for the decisions you've made along the way. And that's one of the things when I talk with people or I'm out seeing people, I asked, like this weekend, I was talking with a couple people, asking them, I'm like, okay, you're in real estate. Okay, what do you do? Well, I'm a realtor. Okay. Well, I would like to have a podcast. Well, why would you like to? Why don't you just go ahead and do it? Well, I just don't have time. Well, why are you here? Why are you taking time on your schedule to show up to an event on something you're not going to do? Wouldn't it be much better for you to spend time and focus on what you're doing and get it done? Start it. Don't wait. Get it done. The worst thing you could do is just sit there and procrastinate things and then complain about something else. When we die in life, the things we'll be most upset about are the things that we do not accomplish in life. The places we did not go, the memories we did not make. My father used to always talk about how important it was to make memories. And you want those memories to be good. You don't want those memories, well, I should have done this. I shoulda, coulda, woulda. All right? And I've made it a priority this year to do some things that I've never done before. Go back to places I haven't been back in a while. Because I know I'm solely responsible for where I'm at today, financially, entrepreneurially, health-wise. I know I'm responsible for where I'm at. Nobody else is, everybody. And the sooner you can come to that resolution, the happier you'll be. Any questions you guys have out there? Any questions? I know we rattled through a bunch there, but you have to start thinking. When I was going through this afternoon and thinking about this over the weekend, what I was going to talk about tonight, I originally thought we would do something on contract for deeds, but I thought this would be a little bit more prevalent. Plus, it works well with the marketing, 50 Shades of Gray. And marketing is always a good thing. Hopefully you enjoyed the email. Obviously, you would have. If you didn't, you probably would not be here. I had fun writing that email yesterday. It is all about driving people and doing things bigger than better than ourselves. And hey, if you're doing things and taking advantage of the opportunities and working with other people, you're going to find success. If you're not finding the type of success that you want to find, as Jack Alford just posted, if it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to me. And that's actually Les Brown, if I remember correctly, says that. Not Desi Arnaz. Desi Arnaz, one cool cat. Be wrong. But definitely. You got to be hungry. In the words of Les Brown out there, my good friend Les Brown. You got to be hungry to make things happen. All right? Any other questions, comments from you guys out there tonight? Well, while you guys are typing up stuff, I'll cover some of the upcoming events that we got going on. We've got actually a pretty busy next couple 60 days for you guys. We have our fast track training taking place here in Austin, February 23rd to the 25th. Traffic and Conversion Summit taking place the 26th to the 28th. Yes, I'll be flying up to San Diego. It's one of the few events that we love going to on a regular basis. It's an event that is penciled in on our calendar, usually the first thing every year. When this is going to be, because we just absolutely love going out and networking with other entrepreneurs. We're going to enjoy ourselves, come back with some great stuff like we did last time. March 9th through the 11th is our first virtual note buying workshop of the year. Yes, that's online for those that join us. All right. And we've got a special promotion taking place this week. So don't hang up yet. I'll save it. Don't be logging off yet. I'm going to save you some things that you'll probably love about what we got going on with the virtual note buying workshop here. Looks like I got a question here. Jack asked a question. How are you doing on your goals? You said first of the year that you wanted to close 200 or 300 deals. I want to close on one deal a month. I'm sorry, not one deal a month, one deal a day. And I'm actually working through a list of some stuff. I got a list coming in that I've actually been working through as well. So I have not closed on deals yet for the year because we were working through January to get our other deals upline and online, putting some systems in place to make it a little bit easier here. But I will hit that 365 deal goal for the year. Trust me. Do not count me out of that. Traffic and Conversion Summit, Phyllis, what is that? It's an event, a big 3-day conference in San Diego that's put on by digitalmarketer.com. You just go out and type in Traffic and Conversion on YouTube. You'll see a lot of the stuff that goes on. It's going to be 65 digital entrepreneurs coming together for 3 days of marketing and sharing and just some great stuff, some great speakers. Okay. March 23rd to the 25th is the fast track for March. All right, those 3 days. March 27th is the Quest $1 trillion mixer taking place here in Austin, Texas. I'm actually the speaker at that one this time in March. So I'm looking forward to that. It's me held at the Westin at the Domain here in Austin. We're going to live stream that as well. So stay tuned. I got some cool stuff I'm putting together to talk about that a little bit different than what I've done before. Okay. April 5th to 8th is our Note Camp 5.0. We are so excited about that. We're less than 60 days out from Note Camp 5.0. And like I said before, I might have a special deal for you guys on that, but we're really jacked about it. We'll get a little more information about it later on. April 13th to the 15th is our Note Mastermind in Cape Coral, Florida. Of course, taxes are due roughly the 17th. But our fast track training, for those who are curious, it is filling up fast. We've got one spot left here for 2 weeks and then 2 spots left in March. We do have some dates outlined tentatively in May, but nothing official in the books yet because we're handling some travel arrangements, some stuff here right now. Well, I guess I do have the dates May 11th through the 13th. I got to make sure this still works out. Anyway, RSVP now. Have you come out and spend 3 days with us here in Austin? Really help you put your note business into overdrive with 3 days of one-on-one coaching with us. All right. It's good for you plus a partner or spouse, you plus one. 3 days of us literally holding your hand, going through, filling the gaps in of what you need help with in your note business. We really, really want to help you succeed. Okay. Like I said, put your note business overdrive. But that's the first part of our fast track and Note Mastermind. Our Note Mastermind, though, is where it's really at. We're really excited. We're going to have probably closer to 70 people in Cape Coral, Florida, at the Westin Cape Coral Resort. Gorgeous place. It'll be the 3rd time we've had it there. April 13th, 14th, 15th. That's a Friday through Sunday. If you want to RSVP or spot and talk about what goes into that and the fast track training, contact Stephanie Goodman. That's her phone number, 512-507-5663 or 1stephaniegoodman@gmail.com. But literally, guys, our mastermind and fast track is filling up fast on the spots that are available in the first quarter of the year. Tuition for those is $14,997, and it gets you to come into the fast track and 3 of the mastermind events a year. So you get 4 events in for that $14,997 plus a lot of great bonuses to go along with it as well. All right. But our virtual workshop is taking place in just under a month, March 9th through the 11th. We'll spend 3 days going through Find, Fun, and Flip. We'll give you a lot of pure content out there for you to really take your note business, do some great stuff with it. We'll show you how to find it. We'll show you how to flip it. We'll show you how to fund it. All right. Got a big thing going on. Very, very special focus on finding assets at this workshop. And we don't usually spend a big chunk of time going through finding assets anyway, but we're wrapping up the banking blitzkrieg. We'll talk about some of the numbers, some of the things that we're doing with our banking blitzkrieg callers and how stuff that we're seeing, success that we're doing, and the follow-up that we do after that. Where's the fast track? What does it cover? Clara, just drop me an email at scott@weclosenotes.com. All right. Drop me an email, and we'll be glad to get on the phone when you talk about what's going on the fast track. Okay. Where are you hiding behind the shades tonight? No webcam? No, I get the webcam. I just thought I didn't like the lighting. I'm a little tired. There you go. Hi, everybody. Sylvia, I'm here. Well, I'm here in the office. Elisa asked, what's involved in Note Camp? I'll get to that in a second here, everybody. Okay. But anyway, our virtual, this is the most nuts and bolts, the A to Z stuff for you to really take things to the next level. It's 100% live and online. Yes, you also get the replays. We do record it, so you get the replays, not only to the class we just taught in December, but you get the replays to this event in case you can't make all 3 days as well. Okay. Tuition for the virtual is $699, and that's good for you plus a spouse. And if you sign up this week alone, so this is Valentine's week, it's a week of love, we'll throw in a ticket to Note Camp as well. So what is Note Camp, you ask? Note Camp is tickets are going for $149 right now. Note Camp is our online convention. We will have literally over 30 speakers. We'll go April 5th through the 8th. It's one of our 2 big conventions, online conventions we do every year. Everybody loves it. We're expecting about over 1,000 people. 4 days of content for you guys. We'll have 2 speaker rooms running almost simultaneously, almost the entire time. So literally a lot of stuff, starting at noon on Thursday on the 5th, and then ending on Sunday around 3, 4 o'clock. 2 speaker rooms on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 1 room on Sunday. I've got some great new speakers coming along. We've got about a good third to maybe half will be brand new speakers. So it's fresh content for you. Yes, we record it. The recordings are included with Note Camp 5 as well. We want to help light the way, light your path to success. And this is a great way to get things rock and rolling. We'll have 1,000 plus attendees. That's our goal. We're well over almost 200 right now already, and we're 60 days out. And we got a long way to go, but we will do that with some of the great things we're doing. All right. Price right now is $149. All right, for Note Camp 5.0. But that price goes up to $197 this Friday. And like I said, if you sign up for the virtual workshop, virtual note buying, we'll throw in a ticket to Note Camp for you to up to $699. Otherwise, if you miss out on that, you miss on a heck of a doozy of a thing. And no, don't call me and say, hey, I just signed up for the virtual. Don't I get a ticket to Note Camp? No, sorry, it doesn't work that way. There's a special 2-for-1 offering this week alone for this being Valentine's Day week, everybody. Okay? So you can go to notecamp.live to get signed up for the Note Camp 5.0. To get signed up for the virtual, just go to weclosenotes.com, sign up there. As soon as you get signed up, we'll make sure and give you a link, add you into the Basecamp group for Note Camp. Any questions about this stuff? Hey, everybody, what's going on? Hey, Adam Adams, good to see you join us. Hey, Charles, Dan, Anthony, Mario, Michael, good to see a lot of people join us here tonight. Questions? Guys and gals, I hope this was valuable tonight. I know we all struggle with things, but I think these 50 characteristics are what I feel identifies a lot of entrepreneurs. Don't be wrong. You're not going to be perfect in every one of those things. You're going to struggle with some of the things. God knows everybody does. God knows I do. God knows everybody that I've known has been good at some things and downright horrible at some of those things. The idea is knowing your strengths, working on your weaknesses, but focusing on your strengths more so than anything. And if you know your weaknesses, you know what you have to do to overcome those. Okay? Awesome, Sylvia. You've been on previous Note Camps and you're looking forward. Yeah, we're going to have some good stuff this time around. Jack, glad you enjoyed it. Bill Grismar, yeah, great. Thanks, bud. I hope you made it home finally from New Jersey. Missed you guys this weekend too as well. So, all right, everybody. Well, hey, that is going to do it for this Note Night in America. Want to thank you for joining us. Hopefully it's been valuable for you all, and go out and make something happen. It's Valentine's week. I love notes. I love what we do. I love the fact that we were able to help people. I love that we've helped so many people, including some people on here that I've named, do some amazing things in the note business. So thanks for joining us this Monday night, guys. Go out and make something happen. And like I said, we'll see you all at the top, everybody.